Welcome to What's the Deal with Sam? Starring Sam Lilly. Join Sam as he discusses a wide variety of topics.
Fan mail.
Now let's start the show.
Thank you.
What's the deal with numbers? Part 2. The long-awaited sequel to Numbers Part 1. Here, we're talking about numbers again. You could say it's the second video about numbers, but that might be a lie. I may have talked about them before. And also, we already established how the establishment is trying to establish its establishmentarian ways with that way I said the numbering this just then there back on a bit ago. I'm not drunk or high or on any other substances. You are. I'm rubber and you're glue, but I'm not huffing glue like you are because you're it. So naturally you would smell yourself whenever you don't shower for a while and you happen to also be glue. You know, it happens. You happen to huff your own BO that makes you go fucking loopy as a loop-de-loop, on a roller coaster, in space. So numbers are a thing I wanted to talk about, so we should maybe shift over to those. So with numbers, the other thing I was thinking about was just the idea of like, you got, you're counting up here and you get to like hundreds, right? And then you get to like thousands. And this is where things get kind of confusing because it's interesting that you'll have, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000. And for the next number, you would think that's 1,100. But some people will say that is 1,100. Why is 1,000 not 1,000? Why don't we just say 1,000? Why is it okay to say 1,100 but not 1,000? How is that any more confusing or any less confusing? It saves time to say 1,100. You don't have to say 1,100 or 1,100, right? Like, you don't have to, there's not as many words, but it's more accurate to what it is because you're talking about thousands. 1,100 sounds like you're talking about hundreds. And like, I guess, yeah, 11 and then 2 zeros, so there's 1,100s in it. But there's also 1,100 in it, so it sounds really weird that we can just interchange those, but not when it comes to 1,000. Nobody says 1,000. Nobody ever in their life, other than me just now, this is the first time anyone's ever heard 1,000, right? Like, that's just a thing that, like, people have been unable to speak, a truth we've been unable to hear for eons. And it happens here. It happened here first. Please let everyone know what you were wearing the day that you watched the What's the Deal with Sam Numbers Part 2 episode and heard for the first time the grand idea of 1,000. And you don't say 2,000 or 3,000. And then what happens when you get to like, I don't know, let's say you get to 100,000. Well, why isn't that like 1,100? I don't know. I don't fucking know. Why can't we say whatever the fuck we want? Maybe we should have some fucking rules to what we're saying. Maybe we should have some kind of order. We should have some kind of civilized discourse amongst our brains and our words and the words in our brains from our brains to other brains. And that is just the thing that I'm really saying that a lot. I'm really like trying to get a huge point off of all these, and my brain is going there, and I don't know why. It's not like I have a good point, other than like, just be consistent with the way you say those. And if you're gonna allow 1,100, 1,200, and the like, you gotta accept fucking 1,000. You gotta accept 2,000. You gotta accept those, right? Like, you have to. Because if you don't, you're just a hypocrite, and you're a piece of shit, and that's you. That's you and your fucking glue-ass self. And me, I'm gonna take my rubber dick and bounce out of here. And that was, well, what's the deal with numbers? Part 2.
What's the deal with Sam? What's the deal with Sam? What's the deal with Sam?